Hey, Pastor Steve Waldron with the 1536 Tyndale Bible, published by Greatsite Marketing. John Jeffcoat, Jonathan Bird, can't remember the other guy's name, Watts or something like that. Not like Isaac Watts. It may come to me in the course of this video. But they have taken in hand, they've got a better collection of ancient manuscripts than the Smithsonian does, and for study, they reproduce them in amazing covers. And so this is the New Testament of William Tyndale, the 1536. This would be considered his second edition. Now, William Tyndale, if I was to read to you the phrases like scapegoat and Passover, knock and it shall be given, shall be opened, ask, shall be given. The words he gave to the English language, as a matter of fact, linguists say he gave us modern English. And so this is to the reader. Now, this is just a reproduction. You can see this. So that is very difficult for me to read. And this came out the year he died. And some of the Old Testament, I've got some of the Old Testament floating around somewhere, unless it's been stolen. I'm afraid some of my Bibles have been heisted by supposed Christians. That's not a good thing. There's some Christians. I remember talking to Jim Ryman one time at Christian Armory. And he made this statement. It was actually, I said I was talking to Jim Ryman, which I think I have talked to Jim Ryman before, met him. But it was actually, Jim was talking to a friend of mine who told him that shoplifting was so huge at the big Christian bookstore, and that everybody who was stealing had the money in their pocket. And they'd ask them why. And they said, well, we just thought Christian literature was free. And it should be free. Well, okay. So here's what it looks like. You can see this is just a facsimile. And it is amazingly done. The paper, the binding, everything about this, they do it fantastic. Now, these will be a little pricey, but one of the things that they'll do, they've actually sent me a free Bible before, and that's a whole nother miracle, that because I've been praying about it. I felt like the Lord wanted me to get it, and I didn't have the money, and then all of a sudden it comes in the mail saying, take this as a gift because you've been a good customer with us before. I was like, whoa. So follow the epistles, taken out of the Old Testament. Oh, just fantastic stuff. So this is written, this is going to have woodcuts in it. It's going to be written in Gothic type, which is harder to read. But you can read most of it. Like I can read the Revelation, and it's actually very large print. I'm sure it's 11, 12 dark print, dark print. And after that, I looked, and behold, the temple of the tabernacle of testimony was open in heaven, and the seven angels came out of the temple, which had the 7 plagues, clothed in pure and bright linen, having in their something, clothed with gold girdles, and one of the, okay, so if I sat and read it, I could sit and read it, you know what I'm saying, but to do it right off the cuff. But good stuff. Tyndale died giving us the English Bible. 90% of the New Testament and the King James, they say, comes from William Tyndale. And he did so much, and so many, at least at some point in his life, he was probably an Acts 2:38 believer, according to the obedience of the Christian man. But there was so much literature done by the Catholics in his name that it's very confusing sometimes to figure out exactly what he believed. Most people just say, well, he followed Luther, and on and so forth. But he was imprisoned, died giving us the Bible. So great Bible put out by Greatsite Marketing. God bless you. Talk with you later. And they'll give you a free Bible page from a Tyndale Bible sometimes as well. So.